No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of... Oh, wait, stop, restart. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampSwimmer, and with me, as always, the Anuarch to my Saurian ancients, Vespasian.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Welcome back. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since we've done a battle report. We both have busy lives, and we finally got back to it. But before we get into the battle report, I just wanted to point out, I got a message from the Fading Flame online 9th Age League that they are starting their next season, and they are looking for participants. So if you're interested in playing either UB or Warhol with some guys from Europe and around the world, jump in. They do signups through Discord, so I will share the link to the Discord server in the description below. Go in there, and I believe you go into the new player room and say I want to be a part of it. Go ahead and do that. Enjoy. I did it for many seasons. I just don't have enough time in my life right now to be in another season, and a really good time because you're playing people from literally around the world, and also some really good ETC players. How was your experience when you were in Fading Flame?
I enjoyed it, but definitely. I was in season 1, which was sort of, I think, before it was kind of taken over by the current management. And the first part of the season was really cool, lots of involvement. The actual playoffs, I think, there was a lack of engagement in the playoffs. So I've seen that it's gotten better, since. And I definitely encourage people to play. It's a great way to kind of have a stable of international players to get some games in with online, who are all like-minded and trying stuff out. So yeah, it should be a good season.
Definitely, yeah. I participated for, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. After the first season, they put together a website also. I do not remember what the website is off my head, but it's built really well, and you can choose your matchups, and you can put up two of your armies, and then you select one for each game without telling your opponent. Whoever built the website, it's actually pretty cool. But I'd highly recommend anyone who want to get some games in, and you can do it from anywhere in the world, jump in there. But today we are talking about Infernal Zoo number 10, 2022, Davis, California, run by the amazing zookeeper Alex Harrison. We did it, folks. We did it. We did the tournament. It was wonderful. It was last weekend. I had a fantastic time, as always, at Alex's tournament. But yeah, let's just get into it. What do you say?
Yeah.
We start out with my game 1, as you know from the list review video. I took Saurian Ancients. The Saurians are back, baby. The Skink Blender is back. No, it actually really is. We'll get into it later. But I got paired into John from up in Pacific Northwest. He's from Seattle or Portland, one of the two. And he was playing Vermin Swarm. And actually, I thought this wasn't a great matchup for me. Let's talk about my list, because this is the round 1 video. We can talk about it. So this is the Saurian Ancient list I put together. I wanted to try out a handful of things in the new book. I wanted to definitely try out the three magnetic great bows on the Thyroscutus herd. I wanted to try out the Skink Veteran with the alchemical arrows. And I wanted to try out all triple Taurosaur, because this is the zoo monsters are good. And then I want to try out the Skink Blender. So I got the 40 skinks. I got the Skink Veteran with the alchemical arrows and the Master Strategist, so he can be a Feigned Flight unit. I've got the 40 skinks with spears. The Skink Blender can now have spears. Awesome. I gave him the Wizard, gave him the Rending Banner. I did 2 sticks of 3 caimans and gave him the Wizard Enclave, and I messed this up. When I made this list, I was thinking you can switch out one of those Awaken the Beasts for the Hereditary, and you can't do that. So I had a pretty poor magic phase the whole tournament, just basically 2 spells. Then I've got 2 units of 10 hunters just to fill out core. The 3 Thyroscutuses with the magnetic great bows. The Thyroscutus that goes into the skink blender. Then I've got 15 gorilla, which is where the veteran goes. 10 skinks with blowpipes, 10 skink with blowpipes, and 3 Taurosaurs. One has the BSB, the Monolith of Vitalism. One has the Suncatcher, which is the shooting, and one has the Engine of the Ancients. 2 different shots. I wanted to try them both out and see how they did. It's a well-rounded list, but we'll see how it does against John. So John brought the Swarm Priest on the Whispering Bell, the Swarm Priest on Witchcraft. Oh, he's on Thaumaturgy. Then a guy on Witchcraft with a Binding Scroll. Then a guy on foot, another Adept on Witchcraft. Then a Bloodflow Legate with the Doomblade guy. 3 Assassins, a Senator who's his general, a big block of black furs, a 50 block of Legionnaires, a 25 block of Legionnaires, 15 Velites, 2x10 Shadow Stalkers, 2 Doomspark devices, and 2 Arena Beasts. So going into this, I'm scared of the amount of bodies on the other side of the board. I think that's my number 1 concern. What do you think?
I heard some tales of what your shooting was capable of. I don't understand the Saurian quite, terribly well. You've taken a lot of kind of off the beaten path tricks. And so I'm not quite as well versed in them. Obviously, the Secrets of the Doomblade guy is a big problem for an army that's full of lots of expensive monsters. But I would think that the blender should just blend any one of those blocks. Strike first, tons of attacks. I think in theory should be enough to kind of overwhelm the Life is Cheap mechanic. You should have range to take down the things like the Doomsparks and the Arena Beasts that can cause issues out on the flank. So I mean, I don't know that it's like an amazing match for you, but I don't know that it's bad, I guess is the way I would think of it. This is flags, right?
Yes,
so
this is flags.
You do have a couple of smaller flag units that are risky, right? The Caimans, but and he just has 3 flag units, right?
So yeah, we both have 3 scoring units, and so but his one of which of his is 50 wounds, and mine's not that.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think maybe the mission shifts it slightly in his direction, but yeah, I'd think of this as kind of like a yellowish matchup. I think overall.
All right, fair enough. Let's get into deployment here. So I believe, no, he went first. What was the deployment? It was counter thrust, right?
No, it was
It was blind deployment. That's what it was. It was blind deployment.
Yeah.
So we didn't see, this is what I dropped. Let me go left to right. On the left here, this is my 3 Thyros with the giant magnetic bows. A unit of hunters right there behind. This is the one with the Suncatcher engine, the Taurosaur with the Suncatcher engine, my stick of Cayman, my BSB Taurosaur is in the center here. My little skink character with the magnetic bow unit is right here in blue. The skink blender, blowpipes in front of them, another unit of hunters. The last Taurosaur with the engine of the ancients, and then the other stick over there. So basically the way the Caimans work is I need to create a wide bubble out of my scoring units, which are only these 3 units. So basically every game I had the Skink Blender in somewhere in the middle, and then both of the sticks on both sides. That was kind of the strategy. For him, he has an Arena Beast, the big block of Legionnaires with his Doomblade Guide in there, another Legion Beast, his bunker in the back with all of his characters. This is the smaller unit, that's the Legates with his characters. The smaller unit of Legionnaires with the Bell, and then his big block of Black Fur on the right, his and then both Doomspark devices on the right.
Interesting.
Yeah, and this is after Vanguard, so I moved them up slightly. I knew he was going to get first turn, so I just didn't give him any charges. No random movement can make it into me, and he's too far to shoot with the Doomspark devices turn 1.
Yeah. It seems like you got pretty favorable blind because you've got a ton of shooting right in front of those Doomsparks to take them off before they can do too much work, I would think.
That I can't remember if I went for that, but I think I did. We'll see. So this is after his turn 1. He pushes forward with these 2 blocks, with the Legionnaires with the Doomblade, because the Doomblade wants to face anything on my left-hand side. Oh no, I did get first turn. Because you notice
that first picture was after your movement.
Yeah, it must have been. You notice one thing's missing from this picture to this picture. There is no more Arena Beast on the far left because my magnetic Great Bows one-shotted him.
Okay, whoa.
Magnetic Great Bows are pretty freaking amazing. It's basically 6 crossbows, 6 bolt throwers. Because they're 2 shots apiece, strength 5, AP 3 for the first hit, and strength 3, AP 1 for the hits behind it. I got a little lucky. I spiked. I wounded him twice through his armor and everything, and then rolled double 5+ to kill him with 6 wounds.
Wow. Okay. Good start.
It's a great start for me. He plays cautious with the Doomspark devices, so they're not going to shoot this turn. And this is bottom of 2, and then he pushes up with the Doomblade and his Legionnaires, the Black Fur Legionnaires. The other Arena Beast is kind of streaking across the center of the board. He doesn't want to get shot again, but he's heading toward all my poison guys. Can't complain about that. In his turn, nothing happens beyond that. He didn't do much shooting. So if you notice in my turn, I throw everything up in front of his Arena Beast, all the poison shooting, so 2 units of blowpipes and the Hunter unit. I throw it's kind of behind the Impassable here, but my other Hunter unit I use to chaff his Doomblade guy, and I set up to start shooting the unit. And then I just kind of slowly start moving forward. I feel confident at this point because I knocked off the Arena Beast right off the bat. And I feel like I can knock off the second Arena Beast in turn 2, which would be amazing. Then I'm just dealing with the Doomspark devices, but those are very random. They're D6, so it's not the end of the world. It looks like in his turn he did all of his damage with his shooting. He did a little bit of damage in magic to my magnetic crossbows, or magnetic bows, guys, which are down here. And then he charged with something and I fled. So then they rallied here. So there's just the usual. So they'll be back next turn. Let's see here. So my turn in the shooting. So oh god, it's behind the Impassable. In my shooting phase in bottom of 2, I put all that poison into an Arena Beast and I get him to 1 wound. I don't kill him. And I even put the magnetic Great Bows into him and they flubbed this round. So round 1, they one-shotted the Arena Beast. And I've noticed this throughout the tournament. I'll say it right now. The Thyroscutuses with the magnetic Great Bows, they're very prone to flubbing. It happens 3 or 4 times in the tournament. So because of that, he double charges his Doomblade, his whatever that's called, the Doomblade, and he random moves his Arena Beast with 1 wound left into my chaff piece here, so he can overrun to the left and try to get into my my guys here. Unfortunately, the unit can't do that because when you overrun, you turn around your center, so he's gonna miss the Thyroscutus as high, but the Arena Beast could very easily make it into them. So that was a mistake by me, or at least I thought I was gonna kill the Arena Beast, and I didn't think this was gonna happen. And he charges into my other blowpipe guys, so they're gonna start cascading over here on the right. He brings in one of his these guys. What are they called? Dustblade Assassin? No, the
Shadow Fur Stalkers.
Shadow Fur Stalkers. He brings them in and starts shooting at me. He brings up the Doomspark devices to start shooting in my chaff. You know, the usual stuff. So in the bottom of two magic phase, I save all my dice to stop his Wrath of God, and of course I failed to dispel anything in the magic phase and he gets Wrath of God off. It was bad. That's why I took a picture here. Let's see here. So in my phase, over here, the Arena Beast kills my chaff, of course, overruns into my Thyroscutuses. He knows he can't overrun with the Doomblade unit, so he just reforms to be this position. I decide to countercharge with both my my Taurosaur and the Cayman Stick, because he'll die to impact hits. So he has to take 1 wound. He's going to do that. And then I can choose either the Taurosaur or my Cayman Stick to overrun into this unit and hold them up for a turn and get these guys out of the way. That was my thought process. He continues to cascade through my chaff. I get a double charge of a Taurosaur and my Cayman Stick into his these guys. He accepted that charge because he didn't want me to charge the Doomspark device. In the shooting phase, he overran into these guys last turn. He was gonna kill them in my turn, reform and charge. So I left this BSB Taurosaur way over here so he couldn't charge into him. But I knew I could take it with the Skink Blender, so I left him there, and then these guys can flee. And then over on the right, I'm hoping I can overrun out of the way, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So exactly that happens. I overrun with my Taurosaur. I know he's going to instantly die to the Doomblade guy, but that's okay. I just want to hold that unit up for a turn, and then in his turn he charges.
Why not with the Caymans?
I was thinking about it. I wanted to keep my magic phase. I wanted to not lose the scoring unit. That was the main thing. That was the main thing.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, makes sense.
He charges them and I flee, so they come back to here. And that's what after he killed the chaff, he did something I did not expect. He turns around this way and then charges the scoring unit, the Cayman Stick. And I flee and he redirects into this Taurosaur, I think. So now again he can overrun into these guys.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it was a smart move. I did not see that coming. He brings more Dustblade guys up to chaff my Skink Blender. That's about it. And let's see here. So he fails the charge with this unit. And that leaves me open in this situation. He actually does not kill the Taurosaur. Shockingly, with the Doomblade, he doesn't kill the Taurosaur. He does. I think he does. I had 5 wounds left. He got 3 wounds through, and he rolled a 1, a 1, and a 3 and did 4 wounds to me. In the multiple wounds. It was. John, I'm sorry, John. So yeah, so that leaves up a nice little shooting phase here. And I think I take the chaff in over here. I take the chaff with my skink blender. And that leaves to this point. This is, I don't know, this might be a turn or so later. So this is what happens. I can't get out of his charge arc with my Thyroscutuses at this unit, so I just back up a little bit and then just unload into him. Now look how many guys are left here. Maybe that's like 23 guys. There was 50 in there before. I shot with these guys. Since they're bolt throwers, they do penetrating hits up to 5. I hit with everything. I wound almost with everything. I do something like 25, 26 wounds with one shot into rats. It was pretty freaking awesome. But then, then in his turn, he charges. I flee. I end up here. That is what it is. On this side, I take the chaff, but he has moved far enough away from me where I can't do anything. Oh, and this is turn 4. We only get through 4 turns. So this is the end of the game. And what happens over here? Okay, so the Doomspark device declares a charge into my Cayman stick. I know this is the bottom of the game. I felt like he was gonna kill me if he made the charge. It was an easy charge for him. I decide to flee. If I roll a 10, I go off the board with the flee. I roll an 8. It's like, oh, this is perfect. He has to roll an 11, and he rolls the 11 to catch me, and I lose the secondary because of that. It was pretty painful, but it was good. So that's the end of the game. First of all, John, that was a great game. I had a fantastic time. He's definitely. Oh, and one other thing. These Thyroscutuses need a 7 cold, because the Cayman stick rallies over here, and the Thyroscutuses need a 7 cold-blooded, and they fail and run off the board.
Rough.
So that
was a bad bottom of 4 for you.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So this Thyroscutus, like, it's a really great shooting unit, but it's freaking expensive too. It's 635 points.
Ooh. Yeah, but 6 bolt thrower shots on top of like pretty tough chassis. That's not
toughness 5, 5 wounds, 2 up armor.
Yeah. Do they strike well in combat, or?
Oh, in combat, no, they have 12 skink attacks, and the monsters have 4 strength 4 attacks, or they can do 3 crush attacks. So it's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting unit. That is expensive, but it seems like they can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. So it ends up with points. He got secondary, and he beat me on points. It was a 12. It was a 12-8 on points, and he got secondary.
Losing the Thyroscutus and the Cayman unit took it from like a 15-7 to a 15-5. Okay.
And the play was like he like that was unlucky, but also I did not take very many points off of him. Besides the arena beasts. Oh my god, I forgot one other thing. I completely forgot one other thing. Here we go. In turn 3, he 4 dices Wrath of God on his Doom Bell, rolls 2 6s and a 1, and then something else, re-rolls the 1, rolls a third 6, and sucks his bell into the warp.
Wow. You got a break there, geez.
I know, I really did. It would have been even worse if that hadn't happened. Yeah, so kind of what I predicted. I couldn't really get through the wounds in time. I think it would have been a different game if we would have kept going to 6 turns, I think I could have made up some ground. I don't think I could have won the game, but I could have made up some ground because the Skink Blender never made it in the combat. And if it made it into one of those blocks, it would have really done some damage.
Yeah, because he's out of chaff at this point. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to have to start throwing out Doom Sparks or Wizards, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a really interesting game. I haven't played many games in Vermin Swarm. John's a great guy to play against. But my first experiment... he's involved somehow. I don't know what he is.
I think he's on the team, the staff team for Vermin Swarm. So yeah,
that explains it. That explains it. He won because of that. He knows all the secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that flags it tilts it his way a little bit with flags because those Cayman sticks are a bit vulnerable. And he's got, like blasty magic and different tools to take them off. So yeah.
So overall,
and you can't just hide them because they're part of your leadership bubble, right? So
yeah, exactly. Definitely list building wise, I realized after this tournament I don't like the Cayman sticks. It's a dumb idea. I thought it would be cool. It's not. But what did you think about? What do you think about tactics wise in this game?
Do you think that sort of wrapping your army around that massive impassable terrain was a mistake? Because it feels like there's enough room to the left of it to kind of position yourself with a full battle line and move forward in sort of a concerted effort. Now, obviously, it's blind, so I'm trying not to comment on how it looks now.
Yeah. You just got to look at the board. Yeah.
The way that you are here, you're very he has an opportunity to kind of break, what is your left flank off and kind of tear it apart, which actually did end up happening. Right?
It's exactly what happened. I was looking at the board, and I thought 2 things. One, I thought what you were talking about, but I didn't like the ruins that were sitting in the middle of that channel there. And I thought going to the weaker side would have thrown him off. That's what I was thinking, but I'm not the best tactician in the world.
Well, blind makes it it's funny. In my game one, my opponent and I both discussed it after the fact, and we did the game theory of well, this is what I think I should do, but this is what I think my opponent's gonna do, so I'm gonna switch it up.
Yeah.
And we both overthought it basically. So anyways, it's hard to protect with blind. I think it's fine, but I generally just hate having unless I'm trying to hide monsters from cannons, I hate having an impassable in the middle of my line. It ends up kind of futzing you up a bit. But
those are hard boards to deal with a big impassable almost smack dab center in the board is painful. But that's round 1 for me. The Saurian Nation experiment has off to a poor start, but that's okay. We're testing out the new book, so I'm pleased. And we'll be into next round, into round 1 for Vespasian. And thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.